All right, welcome. I'm Eric Mortimer with Maxwell Capital Realty, and I'm joined today by Bob Reeder, a veteran, almost a pioneer in the mortgage brokerage industry. And we're going to talk about a few relevant things that are popping up with mortgages right now. The market is heating up in the Calgary region, but there's some misconceptions out there. So we're going to talk to Bob about that today. Welcome, Bob.
Welcome.
So just to give an idea, we've had you on a couple times before, but how long have you been in the industry and how many mortgages have you done?
Both. Holy, well, my staff, actually, they ran the numbers. I didn't believe it myself, but it's true. I've been in the business 31 years and completed over 10,000 mortgage applications. So I guess that's a significant number. I had hair when I first started in this business. So, I mean, it's been a while.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So on that, before we dive into the to the main topics, what's on mortgage rates is going to be one of them. When you started, back when you started, what were mortgage rates then compared to now? What was it like?
Well, that was really a unique time. 1989 was when I started. In 1990, there wasn't one interest rate under 14%. So the big challenge for us in the industry at that time was, most people wanted to try and assume a mortgage. And in Alberta, you could assume a mortgage without qualifying back in that day.
Yeah.
And good Lord, they all wanted to assume a mortgage at 12% rather than taking the new 14%. So it was a challenge in the business in those days, for sure.
Right. Yeah. So all things are relative. So when we're talking today about where interest rates are going, just remember it's no matter what, it's not going to 14% in the next year, probably.
We hope not.
So what are you seeing in terms of the trends? Are you seeing rates first of all, since the beginning of year to now, have people missed out at all? Have rates gone up, and where do you see them going?
Well, I don't think this is sustainable. In the ones is certainly not a sustainable situation for the banking industry. And eventually they're going to want to raise rates. And right now we're seeing that in the financial markets. The bond market kind of determines where interest rates are, not directly, but indirectly determines where interest rates go. That spread of where they're lending, where they're getting the money from the mortgage rates reflects in the bond rate. Yeah. So we're seeing the bond market on speculation that the economy is going to get better. We're seeing the bond market increasing in value. And so this is kind of pushing interest rates up. And right now we're seeing the fixed rates have gone up in the last week or two, almost 0.5%. So this is reasonable. I mean, anybody that's got a mortgage that's in the ones right now, oh my goodness, good job. Yeah. But we anticipate them they're going to go up again to be a little more reasonable. Sure. We had them in the twos for a very long time. So I anticipate that's where they're going to end up here over the next little while for fixed terms. Right. Now, the variable rate based on the Bank of Canada lending rate has not changed at all. What does fluctuate is what the lenders offer for a discount.
Have you seen the discounts get smaller, get bigger on the variables?
It just depends. Lenders will have a pool of capital that they want to put out into financing, and it just depends on the lender. Some of the rates have been fairly significant, and of course, believe it or not, they offer a better discount for mortgages that are less than 20% down because they're insured and the bank has no risk. Right. So, this is people believe that if they put more down, they're going to get a better rate. That's not particularly true. When the mortgage is insured, the bank has no risk, and they offer a better rate for that. So, although you have to pay that insurance premium, which doesn't make any sense. So, nonetheless, the discounts have ranged anywhere from 0.4 to like 0.9. So it just depends on which lender you're at. That's why you talk to a broker. Yeah, make sure you're getting the best opportunity.
Yeah, because there's some things out there. There was even talk of a 1% mortgage at one point in time, but you couldn't get through to the lender. So
yes, yeah, that's right.
So that's kind of an incentive. So that it is a competitive industry and all that. And right now, I'm hearing talk of cash back mortgages again. What do you think of those?
Well, boy, that's been that cashbacks have been offered forever, and the rules for qualifying, qualification rules are pretty exact. There's set to qualify people, to make sure that they're qualified. To be able to borrow for down payment is sometimes accepted, sometimes not. The requirements, when the bank's offering an opportunity, believe me, it's in the bank's favor.
Sure.
So you have to be very careful to look at the terms and conditions of the cash back.
Yeah.
There are some lenders that are offering that right now, and quite frankly, I'd be very hesitant to get involved in that. It just adds more conditions to your financing.
Yeah.
And in and out. When you sell a house, whatever, the calculations on paying back the cash back, or how long do you have to be in it before you don't have to pay it back, or what are the terms and conditions of it? And it has to be described thoroughly before I would even consider recommending somebody go there.
I remember then when they were around before 2008 and things were going crazy, and there's almost the ninja mortgages, no income, no job, no assets, and cash back. But when it came time to sell, there was a lot of people that were upside down and they regretted taking that cash back. So that's some good advice. And if anybody's interested, do contact us, and we'll get you the qualifications for that as well, for that program. So last thing, so we talked about the cost of money. We talked about some different programs that are happening, but how hard is it to get a mortgage right now? Are they tightening down? Is it easier?
No. I can tell you that the thickness of files is significant these days. Lending institutions are, their philosophy of lending is based on a group of risk managers that sit in an office that determine, their aptitude or direction on lending. And man, I'll tell you what, they're a little afraid right now.
Yeah.
The amount of paperwork required to satisfy a mortgage application is significant, and most people don't really understand that. Basically, there's only 3 criterion for qualifying. One, you have to determine your income. And, people are self-employed, or they're hourly, or they're salaried, or contract. There's a whole bunch of different ways that people are paid. And that has to be determined very clearly up front. Down payment, a 90-day history of down payment. It just can't all of a sudden appear out of nowhere. We have to be able to show a consistent savings for the down payment. And then credit. So that's the basic 3 criterion, but it's the extent of verifying all of those things that causes us to have to supply a whole bunch of paperwork. And people can't take that personally. I mean, that's the way it is for everybody these days. Yeah. So I think it's really incumbent on anyone, to really check with a seasoned professional, somebody who really knows what they're talking about, that can prepare you before you enter into the marketplace to shop for a property. Mm-hmm. The stress test is still in. Everybody has to qualify at 4.79%. A lot of people don't realize that. I can get a 1.5% mortgage. Well, your payment's going to be based on that, but your qualifying has to be done at this stress test still. Right. So, there's a lot to it, and there's a lot that people should be prepared for and should be informed about before they get shopping out there.
Fantastic. All right. So if you want to learn more about some of those hurdles to jump through and get prepared before you start shopping, we'll have Bob's contact information below. In the meantime, if you have any questions about the buying or selling process, give me a call. Until next time, I'm Eric Mortimer, real estate agent and agent of change, helping you solve your problems and realize your dreams.